saw you had your hand up. Did you have a question or something?
No, sorry. I'll try to get it down.
Not a problem. You're fine. All right. So thank you guys so much for your patience there. We'll go ahead and jump in. So I just wanted to, this won't be a super long call. I just wanted to touch base with everybody, kind of share some of the things that are coming up and make sure nobody had any questions. So really first wanted to say welcome back to everybody. Everybody with the exception of 3 or 4 people who have talked to one-on-one is officially hired. So you're in the system, you can do returns, you can clock in, you're good to go. So wanted to say welcome back, ready to start this season off again, and really excited to have everybody on. Just as a reference point to the number of tax pros we have, we've already hired over 100% of tax pros that we were supposed to hire this season. And we've also hired, I think it's over 150% for new tax pros for first-year tax pros this season. So we're in really good shape moving into this season already with the amount of people we've onboarded, and we should have some good coverage in the offices. So super excited to have everybody. So the big reason I wanted to have this call was that I wanted to change our culture a little bit, and I wanted to be really upfront about it and kind of share the why and what we're trying to do right now. So in the past, I know we've usually waited until January 1st to start the tax season. We always get everybody in the offices on the 1st. We have this whole big push on the 1st. And what I learned last year from talking to a lot of tax pros who were high riders, I asked what changes we should make, and I'm trying to listen to what the tax pros and you guys have told me. And what I hear is that the tax pros, a lot of times want to be in the office sooner, that we have holds that we can work through, we have customers that we want to help, and that in the past we've made people wait till January 1st. So I asked my boss about it, and I was able to make some changes and hire everybody earlier. And as a result, we can help our customers now. We can go in the offices now if we have customers. And not only will that help our customers, help you guys get in the flow of things before January 1st, but it'll also allow us to have a much easier year. And what I mean by that is all of our goals are based off of how many customers we have in the pipeline. So if we get 50 more returns right now, that's 50 less returns we have to get during tax season to hit goal. And it's just an easier target for everybody, and it makes the whole tax pro easier by kind of flattening that curve of returns. So thought it would be a good move to make across the board. And I just wanted to share, hey, everybody's active, everybody's hired. We can go ahead and work. Just partner with your leader before you go in, and we can either give you the code to the office if you want to go in and do returns, or a leader can meet you there and let you in. Just partner with your leader first, because we're tracking productivity, so we know where we are. But really wanted to say welcome to the tax season. In a moment, I'm gonna go through some things that are coming up as well as we move into the tax season, and answer some questions I think some people have about it. But really, that's the main reason I wanted to have this call. Something to think about too, and I just wanted to reiterate this. I know I've sent out a couple of emails about it, but on the slide you see here, this is as of this morning. There's a tax pro bonus right now, and that bonus started on 5/18 of right after we ended tax season and went to extended, and it goes until 10/31. And what that means is if you worked in that time frame at all, any returns that you complete, as long as we hit this level 2, which we're on track to hit, this 130 more returns from today, by 10/31, you'll get up to an additional $16 per return. It's either going to be $15 extra per return or 16. 15 is if you're not small business certified, $16 if you are small business certified. I think we have almost everyone with the exception of like 2 people in the district small business certified. So it should be a $16 spiff on top of every return you completed. So to me, in my mind, when I'm thinking about the tax season and I'm thinking about now versus January and kind of where we are, it just makes more sense to have people go into the office now and do returns, because we'll help our customers. We'll be able to knock down that curve of big returns and that we have during the season and make it easier. And you guys can make more money because you get an additional $16 per every return that you write right now. So I wanted to share that with everybody. We've got 130 returns left to go to hit that target by 10/31. We're about 87% to goal already. The region, for reference, and all the districts around us, they're averaging around 77% to that goal. So we're already in a really good spot. Not only are we in a good spot with hiring, but we're actually in a really good spot with overall sales. The last scorecard that came out, we're number 6 in the market right now. So we have strong performance as far as returns already, and we're just setting ourselves up for a really solid year. But I wanted to share that with everyone. To break down that bonus a little bit more, just so everyone understands, because I want to share the WIFM with you guys. We have 24 days left to hit that bonus. There's 2 gates that we have to do to actually have that payout for everybody. One is the return target, which we're on track to hit. And then the second is to hit 0.22 productivity. I think we're going to easily hit that. The last reporting that came out, we were like number 4 in the whole market for productivity. I don't see us having any problems there. We just want to make sure that if you guys are coming in the offices that we're getting paid returns through it. So that way we're not making it harder for ourselves to achieve those goals, if that makes sense. So I already talked about the $6 versus $16. The $6 is if you hit that first threshold. I think we're going to blow that out of the water. I think we should easily hit the 16 too, as long as we all push in that same direction. And then wanted to share here on the bottom of the screen, most of our traffic, about 75% of our traffic between now and the 31st is going to be between today and the 15th, because the deadline for the extended filers is 10/15. So really the next 10 days or so, that's really where we're going to see a lot of our traffic. That's where a lot of the yellow space is. If you want to be part of this, coming in and doing returns, the next 10 days is just really a good time to do it. And like I said, you all have access to everything at this point and can write returns and have access to Workcenter and everything. And I've turned everyone on for work from home. So everyone on this call has access to work from home or work from anywhere, as it's also described as. So you can actually log into at home and finish returns that way as well. And if you haven't done that before, your leader can help you through that, or I can help you through that too. But it's turned on for everybody just so you have that ability. So before I move on from that, any questions about everybody being active or any questions about the bonus piece? I just wanted to get that out there and make everyone aware of it, because I think it could be a huge win for us.
Hey, Tyler, this is Dawn.
Hey, Dawn.
Virginia Beach people are not hired yet, and not until the 12th.
Yep, Virginia Beach starts the 12th, and we'll start the same strategy on the 12th for you guys, for sure. That being said, too, Emerald Advance is coming up, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But that means if you want to work Emerald Advance, partner with your leader, you're already hired and turned on for it. Same with Virginia Beach after the 12th. Any other questions around that from anyone on the call? Does that make sense? Awesome. I'm going to take it as we're good. Couple things coming up that I just wanted to share with everybody, and I put most of this in that Friday email that I sent out to everybody. PTINs, the company's saying they're going to be due 10/31. They're going to be much easier this year. I sent out some videos to everybody in my Friday email that walks through, if you're a first year, how to register, if you're a prior year, how to log in and renew it. And then we're going to be sending out a video on Monday that's going to walk through how to reset your password if you have that issue. But that's going to be due 10/31. We have a credit card this year. I know last year everyone had to use this email link and it was a big headache. Great news. We just have a credit card that I'm going to share with all the MTLs that they'll be able to go in and just pay it with that electronic credit card. So we don't have to do that hassle of finding that email from like we did last year. So that should be a much easier process. More to come, but I recommend checking out those videos I sent out today to everybody. Small business certs. So first, wanted to give a huge shout out to everybody on this call. Both Virginia Beach and Chesapeake are killing it with small business certifications already. We already have over half of our tax pros have already recertified or certified up in small business. In the email I sent out today too, it gives you some details and it tells you exactly where to go to do those CEs to get the credit for the small business piece. And I'm going to partner with both Dawn and Maria here, probably next week and the week after, around who's behind and what needs to happen there. So you'll hear communication from them as we move forward if you have additional steps to take. But so far, we're way ahead of the curve here. We're in good shape. And then the small business certified tax pros will actually have a different skills this year as part of Ready to Learn. And we'll walk you through that, and I think it's going to be a really great program from what I'm seeing. There's a lot coming out at convention time, which is 2 weeks from now, around some of the changes around small business, and I think you guys are going to love how the company listened to a lot of the feedback we had over last year to make it a lot easier process for you guys to get credit for small business returns, and they're doing a lot of marketing around it. So it's going to be a huge win for us. More to come, but just wanted to get it out there and kind of put that 11:30 deadline out there so you can be thinking about it. The skills training. So, and I put this in the Friday email too, but between 11:29 and 12:31, that's going to be the skills for all the tax pros, and it's simplified versus last year. It's a shorter process. As soon as we have those dates solidified, I think it's going to be Monday or Tuesday. I'll send you the actual dates so you have them on your calendar as well. But just wanted to get that out there so you're on the lookout for it. Really, the big note here, keep an eye on your email, keep an eye on the Teams page, because that's where I'm going to try to communicate a lot of this information. And I just don't want you to miss something, like if it's skills or small business or certs. To cert up is due 12/31. Both Dawn and Maria are going to start sending information about that as well. We're also doing really well with starting up at the moment. Over 10% of our district has already started up versus the year before, which puts us at the top of the list. But it's a huge piece of how we want to continue helping the customers. So we'll give you some techniques there and also share, who started up and who needs to start up. And I'm going to help the PSMs kind of help push that as well. But that'll come up in the next couple of weeks. But highly recommend you start up by 12/31 because of the new pay structure. And if you don't know what I'm looking at, take a look at that email I sent out earlier today. It breaks the way the pay IPP works this year is you get a percentage of the overall revenue. So if you're a lower level, if you're like 3 or lower, I really recommend you start up because it'll translate to a lot more money in your pocket this year. And if you have questions about that, shoot me an email. I'd love to set up a one-on-one with you, and I can break down how much more money you'd make if you were started up last year. I've done it with a couple tax associates, and I mean, it's thousands of dollars. So worth looking at, worth thinking about, and we'll send out more information as it comes, but just wanted you to be aware of that 12/31 hard deadline. Gonna do monthly town halls, so, and they're totally optional, but the first Friday of each month, I'm just going to have a touch base like this, just to let you guys know some of the stuff that's coming up, especially during tax season, and keep you guys in the loop around things, and also to be there to answer any questions. So totally optional. I'll be putting them on your calendar. Just keep an eye out for first Fridays, and I'm here to answer any questions you have, walk you through any concerns that you have, and make sure that we're all on the same page. I had quite a few questions about OLA, IFA, virtual tax pros. A lot of that information is still coming up. If you're interested in it, shoot me a note. I know I talked about it with several of you during interviews, and I already have a list of everyone who wants to be part of that. Some districts have started, but really there's not a ton of information out there, and they're not completely done with the enrollment around it. So if you want to be part of that, shoot me an email. I can help make sure that you're in that when it opens up. And then lastly, Emerald Advanced. It's coming up soon. As soon as next week, we'll have the scheduling out there. So my question here is I'm gonna send out a survey to everybody on Monday. If you're interested in doing Emerald Advanced, please answer that survey saying that you're interested. I'm gonna put it in the Teams chat and I'm gonna email it out. Answer it, and then also make sure you update your availability and appointment manager. That way we can put you in the offices, help you start helping customers, that kind of thing. Any questions? I know I went through quite a bit there, but any questions about any of that? Any concerns? Any thoughts? I know it's a lot of info, but wanted to get in front of you. All right. Wanted to give this slide to you. This is what we should really be doing now. So things we need to be doing, that I would love for you to be working on now as we start getting into the season, just so we can knock the cobwebs off and start the ball rolling. 1, returns, and this goes mostly for Chesapeake. As after the 12th, this will go for Virginia Beach too. But you can write returns now. If you've got a neighbor that needs to do their taxes, shoot me a text. I'll give you the code. You can go in an office and do it. I've got no problem with that. If you've got a customer that that's on hold that can turn into a converted paid return, go for it. Let us know. We'll let you in the office and you can do it now. WFA is turned on, so if you're used to that or getting used to that, feel free to use it to do the tax prep from home, just to be able to knock it out. 2, log into Teams and become familiar. So this is a big one. That's really a shift for us. In the past, I know last year we did email. This year I'm going to try to communicate more through Teams, and for a couple reasons. 1, because you can mute it, and I don't want to I'm trying to help with work-life balance for everybody. So if you're at home or you're on vacation or you're not in the office, you can mute it and you won't get any notifications from it. Two, it's easier to send things quickly and it's easier to have more of a culture of working together there. So tax pros can ask a question or drop something in the chat and quickly all the tax pros can see it. I'm stealing it from another district that had some really great engagement from their tax pros, and they were able to answer each other's questions a lot, and it was just really a great communication tool. And then I know South Hill used it last year, and we saw a lot of great luck there too. So trying to help us use that as a team. Here in a minute, I'm going to have Gabby. She's going to help and take over the screen, and she's going to show how to use Teams and answer any questions about it. But it's a great program. Everybody already is signed up for it with your H&R Block email, and you'll continue to get communication to it through your H&R Block email. Something you should be doing now is logging into the IRS website for PTINs to make sure you know your password and don't have any issues. I'm making a video with Don Kashishian on Monday on how to reset your password if you have any issues there. So I'll share that with everybody in the Teams channel on Monday. That way, if you have questions, you can just refer to that video. And then I sent out several videos today on that Friday email that walks you through different things with PTIN, depending on what your specific situation. That being said, it's all about communication. If you have questions about any of this stuff, if you have questions about PTINs, if you need help with anything, we're here to help. Shoot me an email, shoot me a text, email your leader, text your leader, throw it in the Teams chat. We're all here to help you. Would love if you could complete your small business certification if you haven't already. It's going to be a huge piece of this next year, and they're making some big changes. More to come after convention, but it's the company's #1 initiative over the next couple years. We had a great year last year, up over 40% in small business, and almost everybody was certified. We just want to carry forward that momentum, make sure we can help customers as much as possible, and they're trying to make a lot of those processes easier this year. Being fully transparent, it was kind of rough last year, right? They launched small business and they're like, let's go small business, everybody gets certified. And it felt like it was, they threw that on top of everything else at the same time. And then the training wasn't great. And then we launched it and it was like, okay, what's happening with all these people we're signing up for small business? It was very frustrating, to be honest. During the our last convention that we had a couple months ago, I was very vocal about it, and I sent out some communication to the leaders around it, how they're changing the process, where actually each of you will be able to have a dashboard this year you can log into and see what happens with all your referrals, what step they're in as far as the process, if they've responded to any of the communication, how that's turned into revenue for the district in your office. So they're trying to streamline and make those things a lot easier, and they're using a lot of the virtual tools to make it easier, and they're already having a lot of luck with it. We'll talk more about it on the next town hall that we have, because we're going to talk about virtual tools. But the way that they're using the virtual tools, it's to where we can do bookkeeping and accounting remotely through the app for them and stuff. It's crazy, and it's going to be a huge win for us. And they're really putting a lot of thought and effort into it this year to launch it in a smart way. And there's a new director in charge of it that I've worked with in the past who's very diligent and focused. And I think it's going to be a big one for us. So sorry to go on a long, winding tunnel there, but my ask here is to trust me. Based off of what I've seen, you want to be small business certified this year, much more so than last year. You want to go ahead and finish those cert ups and continue that forward, because it's going to be a huge piece of what the company is focusing on right now and how we're going to be able to help our customers over the next couple of years and rolling into that banking product that we're creating too. We already talked about cert up. Huge piece of what you should be doing now. If you haven't started up yet, you can really make a lot more money. It's the best thing you can do for you and your customers to help more customers, especially if you're below level 3, because if you're not a cert level 3, they can't find you on Tax Pro Finder. Appointment Manager won't automatically schedule appointments with you. You're going to more than triple your customers going to level 3 if you're not level 3 statistically from what we've seen within the company. Lastly, just to watch Teams and watch email for all the communication that we're going to be sending out. These next couple of weeks are going to get a little heavy, right? We've got PTINs, we've got small business certification. We're trying to push everyone to cert up. We're going to have all the skills training. We're going to start looking at all the offices and getting mentorships for first-year tax pros. We're really just kind of trying to roll everything out. So that's another benefit of having everyone start now, making sure you have access to everything so that we can roll forward with it. And then just keep an eye on that email, keep an eye on the Teams chat, and we'll probably do a couple of the mass text because we got some really good feedback from that, just to let you guys know what's going on with certain key things. So Before I hand it over to Gabby, any questions about anything we just talked about? Any thoughts? This is totally a safe space. No wrong questions.
Tyler, I just wanted to get on a soapbox for a minute.
Sure.
And all of us who work during the summertime are really appreciative of those tax pros who scanned in all the documents that they received from their clients. And if you did not scan in the documents, it made it very hard for us to help those people during the summer. Please scan everything that you do at a tax return. It'll really pay benefits in the long run.
It's kind of hard to hear you, but I think I heard everything that you said, and I agree. So what I would say is WIP and converting those customers that we had issues with over this preseason definitely was a million times easier if we had those documents uploaded, and it turned into a much better customer experience. And we'll really dig into that on next month's First Friday call, because we're going to talk all about how virtual is such a huge focus this upcoming year, and the changes we're making to make it easier, and how we're going to leverage the CSPs as a CSP play to do that. But it's really going to continue to be a big focus. I mean, think of the last time you went to a doctor, right? I will tell you, when I'm traveling to offices, I'm constantly taking COVID tests because I don't want to put anyone at risk. So I was taking them like every 3 days for a while. And to get your COVID test, you have to download an app, you have to put in a password, and then it pops up, right? It's like that's the expectation at a lot of places, and we're just trying to continue to keep up with that. That and the kind of customers we're trying to grow, the small business customers who spend 3 times as much as a regular customer, they all use those small business tools, right? And they're all used to use those small business tools. What I will tell you, and this is a little bit of spoiler from next month, but last year TPR returns didn't count for virtual. This year, they're removing them from that, so they won't count against us. And then they're looking at some of the older returns that didn't count as a virtual percentage and fixing that as well. So it'll be much easier to hit a lot of those goals, and they're restructuring and fixing a lot of those tools. Being transparent, right? Just being completely open. In between now and last season, home office let go about 60 people, and you can read about it online. But it's actually a good thing, and I know that's a little scary to hear, but they actually hired about 60 new people, and they went and recruited people in app development, technology, staffing, web designs, things like that, to really put the right people in the right place to move us forward. And I've already seen some fantastic things coming out of the home office around it, especially around making it easier for tax pros. We're getting more scanners in the offices. I'm working with the leaders and you guys right now to try to get new pin pads for everybody. Just listening to the problems you guys are having, trying to make it easier. And the ask here is that you help lean into virtual as well, because it's really going to make our year easier, and you'll see why on that next call that we have around it. So sorry to get on a soapbox too. It's an exciting time with all the positive changes we're making for the company, because it's really helping us stay relevant. And coming from a company that wasn't doing that would fire 60, 70 people at once and then not hire anybody, it's just refreshing to see us actually making positive changes to help keep our customers, to help us keep our relevance and drive profit. It's a great thing to see. Somebody have something? It sounded like someone was going to make a comment or ask a question.
Caroline has a question in chat about immunizations. What's the plan and what's the procedure going forward with immunizations in COVID?
Great question. Love that you asked that. So company is actually, so as of right now, we're following CDC guidelines. So we're waiting on further direction from the CDC. We're doing masks. We're doing the shield guards, 6 feet. We're technically in primary drop-off mode. So what that means is if a customer calls us, our first response should be to try to do a digital drop-off or an approve online or do it remotely. And then if they say no, then we can still do that in-office visit. And that's been the case for the whole last season, and we're still carrying that forward. That being said, there's a lot of talk around what the COVID procedures are going to be and what changes we're making this year. And I know that a big piece of the convention that the company's having with the DMs and the MTLs next week or the week after is around that. So I would expect new information around that in the next couple of weeks and kind of what we're doing with it. Until then, we're just following CDC guidelines. As soon as I know more, I will share it with this whole team. I'll send it out to everybody, mass communication, if anything changes. But for now, CDC guidelines, masks in the office, shields up, following those guidelines. And if if a customer comes in without a mask and you feel uncomfortable, tell them to leave if they're unwilling to put a mask on. And if they're arguing with you, fighting with you, not wearing a mask, feel free to call the police and call me. It's not a problem. I fully support you. Hopefully that answers the question.
Well, here in Roanoke Rapids, police aren't going to enforce not wearing a mask. I don't know
No.
about Emporia. Emporia, I take it back. Last year, Emporia police weren't going to enforce it either.
So what I
Is
mean,
there-
when I call the police, so when you call the police, we're asking the police to remove them from our premises. As the owner of that building and that business, we're allowed to have them removed for whatever reason we want.
Okay.
And I fully support that. If you have a customer who comes in intoxicated and is being rude, same thing, right? Safety's number one. If you have a customer being ridiculous, you can call the police before me. Call the police, ask them to remove the person. I'll talk to the police if you want to, and I'll fully support that decision.
All right. And next, is there any way we can get a standardized plaque or something for the door stating that everybody needs to wear a mask? Instead of us just having different plaques for each office?
I think there's a printout that's supposed to be on each office door. Is that right, Gabby? I think isn't there a printout that we're supposed to have on
Yeah,
each door?
there should be a sticker on every single door. If your sticker is missing, let Dawn know. She'll get Bruce to put a new one up.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, because I don't remember seeing one on Emporia's door yesterday or the other day when we were there.
Yeah, there should be. There's a temporary one you can print off of DNA. If you there's a whole COVID page there that answers a lot of questions too. You can hit that COVID link, print out the temporary sheet, put it on the door, and then let Dawn know and she'll order one. What I will tell you is right now, Mike Buchanan, I believe his name is, who's from our tech guy from Virginia Beach, who's helping Chesapeake right now. In Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, they're going office to office right now and doing all sorts of like scrimmage ready days where they're looking at he CC'd me on the email, so it's like, hey, there's a problem with this wall, this sign's missing, that kind of thing. So a lot of that's going to be fixed automatically this week as they put up signs that have disappeared or fix chairs that have problems or fix leaking roofs, that kind of thing. So we're kind of in that repair, get ready for next season week right now. But I would definitely print out that temporary one and partner with Dawn, and we can make sure we get it there for sure.
I appreciate it.
For sure. Any other thoughts and questions before we hand it over to Gabby? All right, well, we'll open it up to questions again before we close it. So we'll come back to that. But Gabby, can you show Teams a little bit and show them how to get into Teams? That way everyone's comfortable with it.
All right, perfect. Let's see. Screen. So we've sent an email out to most of our tax pros with a link. Tyler sent it. We've also sent it. This link will get you into Teams. It will also allow your, it will take you straight to our Teams chat. Once you get into Teams, you want to look for the chat button and you want to join our team Taxes Rangers. And then I would recommend once you're in, just type hello and say hello in the chat. And we've also put a survey up to see if it was easy to get in there. You can download Teams to your phone. We will send out. So this is the chat. Once you're in the chat, you can add anything here. This Teams tab will show you what teams you're a part of. So every office should have a Teams. So I have Teams for each of my offices and any other office I'm working with. There's a district Teams, and your leaders can make a group Teams for your office. Once they've established the group Teams for the office, you can chat between cubicles without having to yell over cubicles. It's a good way for the CSP to tell somebody that they have a client without having to say it out loud, without having to figure out the phone system.
And what
If you've, Mhm.
I was just gonna say, and I've already created the team for that, that one chat for everybody. So everybody's already automatically in it for the Texas Rangers. So and this is already installed on every computer. So you can literally walk into any office, hit the Teams icon, and you'll see the Texas Rangers there. And then you can answer that poll question or make a comment, but everybody's there already. And then even if you download and it's all with your H&R Block email. So if you download the Teams app onto your Apple phone or your Samsung phone and just download the Teams app and log in with your H&R Block information, this chat will automatically be there and you'll have it on your phone too. So it's just an easy way to communicate for sure.
One of the nice things I found with Teams is if you agree to a meeting, if you're planning on joining a meeting and you accept the invite through your calendar, it'll automatically put it on your Teams calendar. And to join the meetings, all you have to do is hit join. It will take you directly into the meeting. If you want to have a meeting with someone, you can request a meeting right here by making a new meeting. And just for a shout out, a help, I did this last year with a couple of tax pros, is you just call whoever you need help with, and it will create a meeting immediately. If they know you're calling them, they'll answer, and you can share your screen. You can work with that person directly, viewing their screen to help them that way.
And feel free to call me too. I mean, or Gabby or whoever. If you type their name in, their computer will literally start ringing with a picture of their face, and you can hit answer.
A nice feature about that, Gabby, too, and Tyler, is that if the two virtual monitors in the office is occupied, you can use your cell phone if you've downloaded the app, and you could be able to do that same thing. Like if you were wanting to call an office leader or call somebody else, you don't have to get onto one of those camera monitors.
Exactly. And I know a lot of you are comfortable with Teams because it's what we're on right now, right? So everybody that's on the call right now is in Teams. So if you just use that desktop version, you can see that chat. I just want to make sure everyone's comfortable on how to get that chat. And during skills, when we have skills training here in the next couple of months, I'll spend some time on Teams again and walk everyone through it. But I just want to make sure everyone's comfortable there because it's an easy way to communicate to each other. It's the company is moving a lot of things to Teams and recordings to Teams and everything. So I just want to continue with that trend to make it as easy for you guys as possible as things continue to get sent there. And then it's an easy way for me to drop stuff in chat and say, hey, here's something you should look at. Without bugging you if you're off or not in the office at the time. Because I can mute everybody when they leave for the season. You won't get any communication, and then I can bring you back as you come back. And that way only the people working are getting communication, and it's not overwhelming too.
And another nice thing is if you are, I will add in the chat, I will also email the link as well as a copy of H&R Block's Teams cheat sheet. So there is a Teams cheat sheet in DNA, and it'll give you pointers and tips. And if you're on the meeting, good for you. If you see coworkers who are not on the meetings, help them work through Teams. We do best when we work as a team, so help your coworkers get to where you are.
My thought is, and I don't know, yeah, I'll go to everyone on this. So there'll be two teams. We can send it when I make Virginia Beach. I'll make sure to give you guys all the resources that we have. That way you have it. My thought is when we have these open town halls once a month, maybe we make them around some of the topics that can help everybody. So maybe one of the calls we make around Teams and show everyone some of the intricacies of Teams and some of the things you can do. And then maybe the next one we do have some high profile tax pros breaking down some things in Blockworks that you may not know. And then maybe the next one we'll go over some tricks in Work Center, things like that, just to kind of help take it to the next level for some people that really know the programs well. Would you guys find that interesting or helpful? I think it might make everybody's job a little bit easier.
Most definitely.
Awesome. And we'll make them optional, right? We'll make it, you don't have to go, but I'll send out the recordings too if you can't make it. But that way it's just that whole better together, making it easier for everybody mentality. So, and we'll announce what they are beforehand. So you'll know before the call, hey, today we're going to do a deep dive on Blockworks from some of our top tax pros and their quick tricks, right? And then we'll do like next month, the virtual one. We'll actually walk through how to do it in an easy way and make it easy for you. So it's just actually applicable instead of just this like pie in the sky talking about the concept of things. Any other thoughts on teams or in general, Gabby, before I close it out?
Nope, I think I'm done.
Okay. I know we have a lot of the leaders on here, including from Virginia Beach. Anything you guys want to share with the team before we wrap? Any thoughts, questions, anything for your tax pros?
If you want to come into the office just to practice to make sure you can get into anything, that's where Tyler was saying before, that's not necessarily where you come in and have to tell us for productivity. You're more than welcome to come into the Portsmouth offices Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. I know the other leaders probably say the same, that you could come in the office and practice anytime.
For sure. And my phone number is on the bottom of all my emails. If you want to get into an office, if to work on stuff or meet your leader if you haven't yet, or just spend time with your leader, or whatever the situation is, you want to set up a one-on-one with me, whatever you want, text me about it. Text me your name and what office you want to go into, and I can set it up, right? It's all really about communication. So let us know what you want to do. Let us know where you are. I really want to lean into the communication piece this year, because I think just from digging a little bit in some of the offices this last year, there's a lot of tax pros who want to move up, right? There's a lot of tax pros who are interested in bookkeeping. There's a lot of tax pros that want to learn more about IFA or learn more about virtual that didn't do it last year, that kind of thing. Let us know what you're interested in, right? This is a safe place where we can really work better together and take it to the next level. And we honestly, from helping in some other districts, I will tell you, both Virginia Beach and Chesapeake are some of the most talented tax pros I've seen in any district. So, and I really mean that. I'm not just saying that. So if you need anything, if you want anything, let's help take it to the next level, the whole one team thing. Any questions, any thoughts from anybody before we end the call? All right. Well, I really appreciate everybody jumping on. If you need anything, shoot me an email or a text, and then we'll have another one the first of next month, and just keep an eye on your email. I'll continue to send out what information we have. And then, like I said, we would love if you can get into the Teams chat to either vote on the poll or make a comment, just so we know you have access, and we'll continue. If you need help with that, let us know. We can go into an office and help you, whatever. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Gabby, can you stop the recording? Because I can't do it, so. Thanks, guys. See you later.
It's here. Don't grab Bren's here. Okay. Let's get this. Ow, 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 ow. I don't know where they were. Okay, it's not working. Okay. What's happening here? Why is it working? You just gotta let me do this, okay? It's just for a little bit. Okay, I can't hear a thing. Okay. Cool. Is that it? I don't know what's happening. Okay, either they. I don't know what they're doing. I can't hear anything. Okay. All right. It's okay, buddy. All right. Come here, Lou. I don't know. I can't seem to get it to do anything. All right. Well. All right. I guess I'm leaving too.
Yes, they